I hope you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful again that you guys are, listening to my videos, watching my videos, however you guys are getting at my videos. I appreciate all the comments and all the feedback that you guys have been sending my way. And I wanted to speak in this video a little bit about how I get a lot of people messaging me. It's actually surprising, messaging me saying, I'm not a true INFJ. If I was a true INFJ, I would be this way or I would be that way. And I always think to myself, as an INFJ, one of our main things, one of our main criteria, or one of our main values is not to discriminate against people. It's one of our things. We don't like it when some person is discriminated against for some random reason, whatever that reason might be. But I notice these exact people who claim to be true INFJs discriminating against me because I am not the perfect kind of INFJ. Now, I really want to clarify this for all of you listeners. There is no perfect kind of INFJ. There is no perfect kind of human being. There is nothing perfect about anything in this world except perhaps the universe. The universe is built perfectly and it does things perfectly. But besides that, all of us are imperfect in our own way. And there is no such thing as the perfect or the true INFJ. All INFJs, there are many different kinds of INFJs as well. That's the reason why this 16 personality thing works, because you can't really divide the world into 16 personalities, but you can divide the world into millions of different personalities, which have 16 bases upon them, right? And so there are a lot of different kinds of INFJs as well. There are a lot of different kinds. That's why I, as an INFJ, as an introvert, can do these videos, whereas perhaps someone else who's an INFJ would never be able to do these videos and explain these kind of things to anyone else, So there's a lot of different kinds of INFJs, a lot of different degrees of INFJ-ness within the whole INFJ spectrum, right? And so I might be an INFJ on one side of the spectrum and you might be an INFJ on the completely different end of the spectrum. And that's why you might look at me and think, but you're not an INFJ. And I might look at you and think you're not an INFJ, right? I don't want this INFJ thing, these four little letters, to become a source of contention for us. I don't want it to become a source where, we become like religious fiends or fanatics where we're like, no, you're not a true Christian because you don't do this, this, and this. And you're not a true Christian because you were homosexual, or you're not a true Christian because you're black, or, all that stuff that happens in religion or politics. You're not a true Democrat because you do this, or you voted for him, or blah, blah, blah. I don't want this to become the kind of thing that INFJs end up doing, where we point the finger at someone else and say, you're not a true INFJ because you don't do this, or because you are this or that, or I am a true INFJ because I do this. This is not religion or politics. It shouldn't be like that. We're not building walls between ourselves by saying, I am this, I'm the pure version of it, and you're the impure version, so you should be burnt in hell, or you should be banished to the other end of the island, or whatever it might be, how people behave. We don't want to do that in this scenario. I really hate it when that happens. And so that's why whenever people message me saying, you are a horrible INFJ, you're not a true INFJ, or this or that, I always think to myself, okay, what is the best way for me to deal with this person? How should I deal with it? And I always think, I don't want to fall into the same boat as them. Like, I don't want to do the same thing as them. I don't want to point the finger back at them and say, no, you're not a true INFJ. I really don't want to do that, because it's a waste of my time to, fight over something that doesn't really make any sense. And it's a waste of their time to be doing that as well. What I want us to do is to be the best version of ourselves, whoever you are. These four letters are just four letters. You might also not stick around to be an INFJ for a long time. Perhaps you might become an ENFJ, or you might become an ENTP. People switch back and forth between a lot of different letters. And so I might be an INFJ right now. I might not stay an INFJ for the rest of my life. So what? It doesn't matter. The main point of being a human being on this planet right now, being consciousness and being awakened, is that you are the best version of your own true self. Whatever that means to you, there's no right or wrong. Like, there's no right or wrong way of being you, is there? No, I don't think so, right? I mean, there's no right or wrong way of being a human, except, if you kill someone or things like that. But most people, they walk around the world doing their own thing and being or trying to be the best version of themselves. And that's all we really need in this world. There is no pointing fingers at someone else and saying, you know, you are the terrible version of this and you're the bad version and I'm the true version. It really irks me when this happens, because I feel like we're kind of falling into the way, you know, Trump fans behave, or the way really Muslim fanatics behave, or the way any kind of extremist movements behave. It's because there's always a boundary or a barrier or a differentiation created between me and them, us and them kind of, right? There's always a separation, and that separation creates all these issues where people are fighting against each other, right? I don't want that to be a barrier between. If you don't believe that I'm a true INFJ, that's totally fine with me. Go find someone who you think is a true INFJ and follow them, or start your own channel. I always tell people, if you don't like what I'm talking about, then start your own YouTube channel. There are no restrictions against it. No one is not allowed to start a channel. I mean, everyone can do it. So go on and start your own channel and talk about the stuff that you care about, that you think is important to the world. Because if you don't like my stuff, then maybe it's time for you to start your own, right? And so I always tell them either go start your own channel and you know, stop hanging around mine, because if it doesn't agree with you or jive with you, then there's nothing I can really do about it. I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to change the material that I'm putting out there. I'm not going to start tweaking my stuff because I need to hang out with people who are the truer INFJs, or I want you to like me. There's no need for all that stuff. I know that 90% of the people that are going to come on my channel might or might not like me. Most probably will not like me, right? And maybe the 10% will, but they might not like me for a long period of time either. People will like me for a little bit and then they'll leave, and then there'll be new people coming in all the time. So that is the whole point of this. I'm not doing it to make friends. I'm doing it because I want to share my voice. And so if you don't like it, then go find some other voice or go start your own channel, right? But I refuse to let these random 4 little letters create boundaries or barriers between us and them. I don't want that kind of differentiation. I don't want, if that was something I wanted, then I would go into politics, or I would start a religious cult or something. You know, like, why would I? Or I'd be more religious. I hate religion. I hate politics. Why? Because it creates boundaries. It creates these differentiations between people. It creates this kind of us and them mentality, and I hate that. I don't want that at all. I really want you guys to remember this, that these are just 4 little letters, and do not let it, first of all, define you completely, and also don't let it make you into a terrible person that goes around yelling at people because they're not the perfect 4 little letters, right? So really be careful about that. These are just 4 little letters. Yes, they have a lot of meaning in them, but it doesn't mean that you can start berating other people for it, or you can start creating barriers between you and other people because you are better than them, or they're better than you, or you're worse than them, or whatever it might be. There is no better or worse. Everyone is just them. Everyone is just doing their best. They're doing their level best to be the best version of themselves, and that's all anyone can do. Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. I really wanted to share this with you guys because, as you can tell, I really get angry when people create these kind of barriers or boundaries between themselves and other people. This is not humanity. This is not how the world is supposed to be. We're all exactly the same. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all exactly the same. There's no difference between anyone, really. There are a few minor differences in the way we look at the world, but if you go deep within, we're all made of the same stuff. So why are we creating these barriers, these boundaries between ourselves? Why? Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please message me anytime. I'm here to answer all your questions. My email addresses and contact information is in the description below. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.